Well, good morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM. I am Chris Burdick. That is Sparky. Sparky, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for from this Masters Thursday.
Yeah, Masters Thursday. We'll get into a little bit of that. We got some headlines, but we got a jam-packed show. We're going to start out with our guys, Germ, Joel, and Martin from Warm Up Athletics joining us at 7:20. And then we'll have Anthony Jauregui, like we always do on Thursdays, preview tonight's open mic night at the Well Comedy Club and see what they got planned this weekend over at the Comedy Club. Plus, we'll talk a little Masters and gambling with our boy, sports handicapper, Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro and BLEAV Network. You can call or text in anytime throughout the show at 661-842-2000. And one thing, it's official. The Condors have made the playoffs with the big win last night over the Roadrunners.
Fantastic.
Now let's get this started. Let's get this started.
Now all we need to do is win out so we can start moving up in the standings and we get home ice advantage, because right now we're still sitting snugly, I would say, in that sixth spot.
Snugly.
I mean, again, I'm okay with the playoff berth in general, but I want home ice. I want at least 2 games at home for playoffs, because
especially
again,
the way we've been playing at home.
Exactly. And when that place is packed, especially for playoff hockey, it gets loud. And no team can beat the city of Bakersfield when we are loud. It's what we do. We get loud. And honestly, we're annoying. And that's the whole point. That's what you should do. Get out there and annoy the hell out of the away team so our team can score. That's the whole point. So go have some fun at the Condor game this weekend.
As much as you can with the $3 Friday night with the beers.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the way we promote, plus I believe we have some jersey giveaways for the kids this weekend.
On
plus
Saturday.
We're playing the stinky San Diego Gulls, man.
What better way to end the season than with 2 home wins against the Gulls? Kick their butts back down to where they belong at the bottom of the standings, probably to play the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the AHL Pacific playoffs. And we get to move up. I think that's a perfect way to end the season. I know we have more games after that. I realize that. Calm yourself.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. We still got the Barracuda twice. I believe we still got Henderson once. There's a lot of really good games at the end of the season right now for the Condors, and I'm hoping we win all of them. I really am. But it is Masters Day, or at least the beginning of the Masters, I should say. Masters Day 1 has begun, the 90th edition. The 90th edition of the PGA Major. And as it sits right now, again, don't read too much into this. It just started, but there are a couple guys at the leaderboard right now with a 1-stroke lead. Jose Olzabal, I believe. Olzabal. I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm going to go with the first one. And Sam Burns currently are your leaders. Max Homa right underneath them at 1 under. But again, don't read too much into it. The big names that you're going to want to watch today are going to start around 7 o'clock. The first group with Sparky's favorite, Bryson DeChambeau, Xander Schauffele, and Matt Fitzpatrick will be taking off at 7. Rory McIlroy, last year's champion, will be going at 7:30 with Cameron Young. And then I'm excited for the 10 o'clock groups, because that's when you're going to get Scotty Scheffler and Gary Woodland both in the same group. That's going to be really fun to watch. JJ Spawn's group's going to be fun to watch. John Rahm, Ludwig Oberg. It's just going to be a great day of golf. I agree with some people, though. 7 hours of coverage is a lot of golf. So listen out for some of the talking heads throughout the day. You don't have to sit there and watch all day. Unless you're a golf head, then by all means, sit down on your couch for 7 hours and enjoy the Masters today.
Yeah, unless you need some help putting yourself to sleep.
I mean, that is one way people do that. I used to do that as a kid. I
was reading Bryson, the mad scientist, is now taking things to another level at the Masters, as he will be using a 5-iron that he made himself with a 3D printer.
So cool.
I was like, that is awesome.
Now, mind you, he had to get that approved. So it's not like he got to just make one and then throw it in his bag and he gets to use it whenever he wants. The PGA has to tell him it's okay. And I think they did. If I'm not mistaken, they told him it's okay. But I mean, if I hear something different when he kicks off here at 7 o'clock, we'll let you know. But I did see the same story. And this isn't the first time Bryson's tried to do something different to win this tournament. I mean, the last couple of years, he's really tried to figure out some way to win a green jacket. He desperately wants to win this jacket just as much as Rory wanted it last year, and probably Justin Rose wants it this year. But he has gone as far as a couple years ago to use the Happy Gilmore effect, in my opinion, where he sat there and said, I'm just going to launch the ball as long as I possibly can and win that way. That didn't work out for him. The last 2 years, he's been a little more conservative. He's got a little, he's gotten a little better at the Masters, top 10 finishes. He's learned that it's more of a finesse game. You got to figure out, how to play the course in a finesse way. Maybe this is the way to do it. Maybe a 3D printed golf club will work out. Because, I mean, again, when you find ways to play golf or with any sport, really, with, something that's catered to you per se, like if you're playing tennis with a tennis racket that's customized to you, the game is a little bit easier. And it's meant to be that way. And golf, it's very much like that. When your clubs are set and molded to you and your style, it makes it easier for you to play. It makes it easier for you to win and shoot well. So maybe this is what he needs to actually do that. And honestly, this is probably just the first step, because if this works out for him, God knows next year he's probably going to have a whole bag full of nothing but 3D printed clubs. And maybe that helps him in terms of sponsorship too. Although I would think that would take one away, right? Because if you're making your own clubs, it's not like a company's going to say, hey, we want to sponsor your clubs by giving you some of ours. Like, I don't think that's how that's going to work.
I mean, if it works out, he can just make his own and
That's what I'm saying.
Sell his own.
But, that's a good point too. He could have his home line of 3D printed clubs. Who knows? With the way 3D printers are these days, man, if you can get enough of them, you can make some good money off this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I've actually seen a couple buddies. Our buddy Craig Frazier, he's got
Yes.
one out in his garage, and he just makes whatever you want.
I've seen people on Instagram, TikTok, all of that, who literally just make nothing or do nothing but make stuff with their 3D printer to sell on Etsy or whatever, and they make a ton of money.
Dude, it's crazy because I mean, I'm a gearhead. I love all these like car shows, and there's one on Netflix right now, and where they customize a lot of these cars, and I believe it's Gotham Garage, but they use a 3D printer instead of having to wait a couple days and overnight parts. They'll just make them.
Yeah. I mean, again, and that might actually be a good thing for people who, if you have a car that's traditionally has parts from overseas, you don't have to wait that month or two to get that part or pay the ridiculous amounts of money that it takes to actually ship it over here. I'm just saying. My only concern with that, though, is that it's still going to be cheap plastic.
Yeah.
So unless we could find a way to actually make this metal, it's
they had metal ones.
Oh, did they have metal ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. That was the other thing I was
insane.
wondering when it came to this story is I could see the stick part of it being created by a 3D printer, but was the iron itself made with a 3D printer?
Probably.
That's what I was assuming.
It depends on how deep his 3D printer is.
I was unaware there were metal ones. So if there are metal ones, then it totally makes sense. He definitely probably put the money towards actually getting a metal version of a 3D printer and making the iron itself that way. But there was nothing in the story that actually explained how he made it. They just said he was using it. Which is classic ESPN, if I'm being honest. This is why I read The Athletic more than I read the ESPN articles nowadays, because at least The Athletic tells you stuff and how this all happens. It
it's
explains
not just the
it
headline
to you.
and
Yeah, ESPN is very cut and dry with a lot of their stories, but it's because they know you're not going to be reading that long. So maybe it's because of us. On the opposite side of the Masters talk, though, there has been a development in the Tiger Woods situation. Everybody is very sad that Tiger's not at the Masters this year. Very sad. And he is out in England, if I'm not mistaken, doing his rehabilitation. I don't want to necessarily call it what it is, but we all know what it is. But prosecutors in Martin County, Florida, are now asking, or really demanding, all the prescription drug records from pharmacies that Tiger uses to figure out what he has been prescribed, what he has been using, if there's any warning labels that tell him he shouldn't be driving while taking this stuff.
Of course there is.
I mean, how many number of pills he's had, how many he's supposed to be taking. They're wanting all of it. Because at this point, this is the fourth time. And now everybody's sitting there saying, we can't have this anymore. We can't. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how good you are at golf. We have to step up and we have to stop him from doing this. We have to save him not only from himself, but save other people from him. Because let's be honest, the last two crashes, We're lucky nobody was actually involved.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. The truck that was involved in this last one probably got the scared out of him. But as it comes to Tiger, at least only, or I'm sorry, as it comes to these crashes, at least only Tiger's cars have been the ones that have been absolutely devastated.
Oh, we've seen it in other, with other athletes and
Right.
and actors. I mean,
Henry Ruggs.
yeah, which is now, I believe he can hit parole in August,
Ugh.
and he wants to come back in the NFL. But no, back to the Tiger thing. It's probably smart. I'm surprised that it took to this accident because he's got a long list of these.
Mhm.
But after the video and everyone
Well,
seeing how sweaty he is and how they found some hydrocodone in his pocket
and
and
that he was trying to call the president.
yeah.
Again,
Sorry, I was talking to the president.
I think the last couple times we could all just kind of lean on the sympathy of it because we all know why he's taking these pills. He's not taking these because he's a junkie. He's taking these because he's in pain, because he's had so many surgeries and he's gone through so much and his body is just in that much pain. So he needs this many pills to really live his life. But again, that doesn't necessarily give you the okay to take these pills, be inebriated or whatever, and drive and potentially hurt someone else. So I applaud the Martin County prosecutors for going after him, to be honest with you. Whether he goes away or not, I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to get a hefty, hefty fine and probably a lot of social work. But as it sits right now, we can't just let him get away with it. You can't.
Like, would
What
you have to kill somebody before or
Right.
kill himself in general with all these accidents? And
Right. What precedent are we setting
it's
if we just let him
insane.
get away with this for a fourth time? Fourth time? Any other human being in America gets busted for 4 DUIs?
I'd be incarcerated. I sure the hell wouldn't be able to leave the
Nope.
country.
For rehab purposes. Let's just call it what it is, physical or otherwise.
But it goes
But
back to what you've been saying. The dude needs to hire a driver, whether it's, he was worried about his privacy and blah, 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 blah. Then hire somebody you trust.
exactly. Or just hire somebody that's got no skin in the game, couldn't care less, and tell him, here's $20. I'm going to go inside for an hour. Stay here. Don't go like I don't get his, oh, I want my privacy. I'm sorry. Is all your business just out there, Tiger? Come on, dude.
Sit in the back of your limo or your
Excuses.
Escalade and take your pills and drink or whatever you're going to have to do.
Exactly.
But you don't have to be behind the wheel.
No, you don't need to be driving. You don't even need to be driving a golf cart at this point. Just hire a driver. That'll fix everything. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Martin County prosecutors find a way to revoke his license in general and just say, no.
Yeah. Get off the road.
Exactly. Because again, saving them from yourself and saving you from other people.
I know we won't have a lot of time today to get into basketball, but there was a big headline. Cade Cunningham, we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks with that major injury he's been dealing with the collapsed lung. Well, he made a surprise return last night, played in 26 minutes or so, put up 13 points. He looked good.
That's pretty good.
And I mean, coming back to a team that was being able to continue their streak
Yeah.
while he was out dealing with an injury. But what do you think? Do you think it was a little too early, or maybe, or is it good probably to get his, get under his feet for a week or so before the playoffs?
You got about 4 or 5 games left, including that one. So it's probably a smart one just because you can really get your feet back under you. You need to get the rust off for sure. And I think 4 games is enough to do that, or at least get that started. Plus, this was an injury that's really determined, or the healing, I should say, is determined by you. You can't really look at someone's lung and say, okay, does it feel good now? Like, it really does matter how he felt about all of it. If he felt he was able to go, then let him go. Just don't let him go as long as you would usually let him go.
Yeah,
Obviously.
get him in there, get some time, and see how he feels after the game.
26 minutes is probably a solid number. You could work him up to 30 by the end of the season. And then when playoffs start after the play-in, because you're going to have time off waiting to figure out who the hell you're going to be playing in the first place, let him rest, let him get his feet back under him in a practice sense and get everybody cohesive again. So round 1, you're ready to go against whomever makes it out of the play-in tournament. And we all get some good basketball starting out this playoff run for whomever it's going to come out of the East, because there are a couple teams now that are looking like they could fight for that spot, and the Knicks ain't one of them. Sorry.
In the West, OKC locked their playoff spot in. Big surprise. But one thing I did want to bounce off you was a story that came out with Shaq and TNT teaming up with to create their own slam dunk league, and it's called Dunkman. It's going to be debuting this summer, and it's going to be featuring 24 elite dunkers competing in multiple live events, all leading up to a world championship with a $500,000 prize. It'll all be on TNT this summer. And Shaq says he is looking to turn dunking into a legit sport. So people that we haven't been able to get to see in the slam dunk contest, maybe this is something that he's going to pull from all sorts of, he talked about pulling guys off the street,
Right.
pulling guys out of the NBA, legends
Right,
that don't
as you
play
should.
anymore. And just
invite
hopefully
whomever can dunk a basketball, apparently.
but 500 grand for a prize.
I mean, that's nice. That's cool. Don't get me wrong. I just okay. I don't know. Again, we talk about this every time the All-Star weekend comes around. There's only so many dunks that you can do. And they've already pretty much done all of them in the dunk contest. So I'm intrigued. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for something different when it comes to basketball. I'm all for more basketball in general. But I need to know what the challenges are. Like, what are we talking about here? Because, like, are we just going to see 12 guys dunk a basketball in a different way? You know what I mean? Per episode or something? Like, how is this going to work?
It's definitely got to be something different than the dunk contest.
Right. Because if this is just going to be a dunk contest between a handful of different athletes from across the nation, yeah, that's cool. But that lasts maybe a season.
Yeah. If that.
Yeah. So cool idea, I guess, but I need to see what the challenges are to really be sold on this. I really do. But again, it's different. It'll get more eyes on the product of basketball itself. It'd be great for social media involvement because everybody loves a good dunk on social media. But in terms of being a television show and, like, you know, being a long-term solution to help the NBA or really just make dunking a sport, quote unquote.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Sorry, buddy. Let's take a break. Our guys from Warm Up Athletics should probably be here outside waiting for us, if not here any minute. So we'll sit down and talk with them as Germ just won his belt. And Joel is waiting, I believe, for his next fight. So we'll get all the info on that, plus whatever Warm Up Athletics has going for you guys here locally that you can get involved with. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM. We're also streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We got two of them. Didn't mess it up this time. Proud of
You should have said that.
myself. I know. Now I'm going to mess it up sometime before the end of the show, and I'm not going to be happy with
But as
myself.
you being a Falcons fan, there is a lot of news coming out of ATL right now.
We lost our right tackle yesterday, Caleb McGarry, which honestly kind of saw coming. He has been dealing with a lot of injuries the last couple of years.
And wasn't he out all season last year?
For the most part of it, yeah. And the guy who we got to step up into that role did a great job. He really did. And they did sign
Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, Jawan Taylor, which I'm not excited about, which means we're going to have a ton of holding calls this year. This is going to be an awful season, man. I'm telling you, there is something about this year for Atlanta, just dark cloud. There is, at least for me as a Falcons fan, there is something that's making me feel like we're not going to have a good season.
To a time, dude. He's going to come in here and save the day for you guys.
He might be the bright, shining piece of the team, as far as I know.
He might.
I got a quarterback with bad knees that can't go under center. I got a quarterback that's a concussion away from being in a hospital bed for the rest of his life. I have a running back that desperately needs the football, but for some reason we can't get it to him. I got a wide receiver who's way too good to be playing on our team. I got a tight end. We still can't figure out if he's a tight end or a wide receiver. We're losing our right tackle. Our left tackle's right behind him because he's so old and is about to retire himself.
Plus an edge rusher that is probably looking at some serious time.
Because of a bad breakup.
Yep.
This is going to be such an ugly season.
Yeah, and the coach actually came out and talked about that finally, saying...
Yeah, and I forgot. The golden boy Kevin Stefanski is my new head coach. I totally forgot about that. Thanks, Sparky. God.
Well, he said he wasn't expected to be at the offseason workout that started yesterday, and now he's dealing with the legal issues after that February arrest, after some multiple felony charges, and the NFL is going to wait to step in until everything works out in court. I would be surprised if he's there for week 1. But we've seen crazier things with crazier stories.
This is true. But again, he's facing some serious charges here. 3 felony charges. And it really depends how far Rakia wants to take it. If Rakia Jackson, LA Sparks player, wants to take this as far as some serious charges or him seeing some jail time, like I said, when this happened, his career, maybe not over, but he's in the same spot as Henry Ruggs. Is anybody really going to want to take a shot on him after he gets out and deals with whatever punishment he's going to have to deal with? Because I'm not going to lie, I know we brought him up in the last segment. I don't think there's a lot of teams that actually want to take a shot on Henry. I think there probably will be somebody who reaches out with a, veteran type deal or something that's very team friendly. But whether he makes the club or not, or even sees the field again, not sure if that's going to be in the cards for Henry Ruggs.
Unless somehow, some way she gets a nice fat check and she doesn't need the money.
She doesn't. And that's the thing. I think this is more security for her.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe not necessarily a check, but some sort of reassurance that the two of them will never cross paths again.
Right.
Ever. That's not just a piece of paper that says you can't come, but within this much miles of a certain person. Because let's be honest, those things don't work. Those things never work. A restraining order? Are you kidding? It's a piece of paper. Are you playing rock, paper, scissors? Because that ain't going to help you. So, yes, in this situation, unless...
Say she doesn't want to press charges and everything gets dropped.
Then he probably has a shot to come back and play for Atlanta next season. And
probably after a short suspension of some sort.
It's sports. We've seen so many athletes come back and just play ridiculously good the next season, and everybody just magically forgets about the stuff that just happened. So maybe that's in the cards for James, but it really does come down to what Rakia wants to do. If she wants to press charges and press the issue and put him in jail for what he did. Because again, we're talking about a situation. You have no idea what we're talking about. James Pierce, defensive end for the Falcons, and Rakia Jackson were dating for a long time, living together at one point. They broke up. James went crazy, trying to break into the house, was stalking her, even to the point where this entire altercation took place where he rammed his car into her car, multiple times. And then when she ran away, he followed her, did it again. Cop showed up. He gets out of his car and tries to run. So this does not look good at all for the Atlanta Falcons defensive end, who looked like he was about to have a pretty promising career. Had the most sacks by a rookie since Micah Parsons. But now we're talking about this incredibly bad breakup and just one in an incredible slew of stories for the Atlanta Falcons. It's just going to be a cocktail of misery next year. Cocktail of misery. But it is what it is. We'll live. We'll see what happens with the football gods. And to be honest, since the Falcons are in the NFC South, God only knows. Maybe they still win the entire division next year. And we're talking about this more as a how did that even happen story.
I mean, Tampa's got some holes that they're filling. I mean, that division is not the toughest.
No. Saints right now don't look that great, but we'll see what Tyler Shuck looks like in year 2. He did start to shape up a little bit at the end of year 1 there. And the Panthers have made some serious defensive moves, so we'll see.
Watch out for those Panthers.
I am skeptical, but at the same time, wouldn't be out of the ordinary to see them step up for a year or two. That is kind of in the Panthers' nature. They find a superstar, lean on him for about 3-4 years before inevitably they say, we can't pay you anymore, or just get fed up with him in the case of Cam Newton.
And Atlanta's dealing with the same thing as like the Dolphins, right? They need to lock in Bijan. He's got a new contract coming up as well.
Should not be. I mean, we shouldn't even be talking about that. That should already be done. Let's be completely honest here. Every time that boy touches the football, magic happens. Same with Drake London. But again, they are way too good to be playing on a bad team. So that's what concerns me, is that, yes, we're supposed to lock them up, or him up, specifically Bijan, but is he going to want to? That's what concerns me.
Atlanta's one of those cities, man, that you kind of buy in. That's your city. I would expect them to lock him in and probably the highest paid running back for a couple weeks.
Right.
And I mean, I also saw the news out of the NFL, which not a big surprise, but the Texans locked in CJ Stroud and Will Anderson with their 5th-year options. Not a big surprise. I would think that they're going to try to make an extension, but you know how CJ Stroud finished the season last year and how he looked in the playoffs. I would think it's a prove it type thing for next year, but I mean, he's looking to make, I believe it was $26 million next year on a 1 year with his 5th-year option, and Will Anderson 21.5 in 2027.
Those are nice right now, but wait until you have to pay them the big bucks next year. CJ actually might be on the bubble. Let's be honest.
I was starting to think the same thing.
Being that he had a pretty rough beginning of last season, injuries obviously having a lot to do with that. But second half of the season, he woke up. Will Anderson, though, you have to pay him. There's no way you say no to paying that guy. He has been the defensive centerpiece for you since you drafted him, and he looks so damn good. So that's a J.J. Watt style situation. Sign him for whatever $sign he asks for, and do not ask questions.
If you don't, somebody else will.
Absolutely. It's the same thing with Bijan Robinson. And I agree with you. Atlanta is one of those cities that, you know, usually you can get behind the city, but they're also incredibly fickle sports fans. And if we suck, they will let you know it. And it may not be fun to play in Atlanta.
And speaking of Atlanta, I know the MLB put down their suspension.
Yeah, I saw that. Soler and Roberto will be 7-game suspensions.
7 games.
Probably honestly should have.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, okay, 7 games is kind of steep for this type of a situation, but this came out of the blue. Like, this wasn't aggravated at all. It was just a conversation between the two of them that went incredibly sour, apparently. I've heard so many sports pundits say this, and I was thinking it in my head, and I've said this about basketball too. I don't care. I loved it.
Right.
I think baseball fans loved that.
Yeah.
So why are we Well, I mean, yes, still, like, you can't allow this, obviously, but we don't need a steep suspension like 7 games for something like this.
5-minute penalty box.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just throw them in there, throw them a 2-game suspension, say, hey, don't do that again, and then just move away from it. That you've got plenty more players out there that should be hitting bigger suspensions, and you should be dealing with their problems than Jorge Soler having a fist fight with a pitcher from the Braves.
We had a listener that texted in and said he thought that fight was weak and 7 games is insane. And
I mean, the fight
he
was
said all
weak,
these,
don't get me wrong.
all the sports, journalists are saying, "Oh, it's the fight of the year," and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, really?
Again, you have to take into account just where it happened. It's more that than it is like the fight itself. We all know the fight sucked. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say that fight was between two could-be boxers here.
Right.
But we never see a fight in baseball, ever. It is very, very rare when we get a fight in baseball. So when it happens like this, it's
exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. It brings something to the game that nobody thought would actually be seen. You go to a hockey game, you're expecting them to fight, even though they don't do it anymore. You're expecting them to fight at some point. Baseball, we don't expect that. So that's why everybody was so excited and so high on it, really. But I echo what I've heard from Stephen A. Smith and all these other guys. I think it was good for the game. I really do. Baseball gets boring, especially since the season is so damn long.
Especially when my team comes out looking like crap to start the season.
Y'all have been surprising me.
The pitching has been awesome.
I mean,
but we can't put up more than 2 runs, and it's strikeout or home run, and that's all it's been. But it's only 13, 14 games in.
That's what I was just about to say. Like
it's
give
a
it a
long
little bit.
season, and I know there's a lot of new faces for the Mariners right now, and there's not a lot of mojo together. Right. So I think, that's a good thing about the long ass season is they hopefully can find their mojo. Hopefully sooner than later. But what I've seen, which I've seen a lot more games in this part of the season, which I would usually not even start watching it. But since I've been watching, I have not been happy besides the bullpen. It just like, okay, man.
Well, the bullpen is the good thing. You want that to be good year round. And that's what I was about to say. It's like, technically, you really don't even need them to find their stride for another 20, 30 games. Realistically,
those
like
bats
when you hit
are frozen.
I know when you hit about 40, 50 games, that's when you're really going to find out what type of team you got on this season. Because Philadelphia's in the same situation. I think we have one batter hitting over 300 right now. Everybody else is barely scratching 2, including Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and all the superstars. I'm not really concerned. I'm not that concerned. I would be concerned if we're about 100 games into the season. Then I am concerned because that's not going to win a championship. But we just started the season.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't buy League Pass.
Right.
I would be upset
now. The Dodgers just blew a lead yesterday to the Blue Jays, and Vladdy looked like he won the World Series. Like,
I saw the Blue Jay fans going after Dodgers and Ohtani because they were saying he was trolling them just because after they won the game the other day that he went back to the mound and was messing around on the mound, and they said it was disrespect. It was disrespect. This guy, blah 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 blah. You guys need to calm down, bro.
Ohtani being disrespectful.
He's the one that saved baseball right now.
Are we kidding?
Relax.
The most respectful human being on the planet.
I saw the video. I had a couple guys. My buddy Augie's a Blue Jays fan, and he sent me a video of that. But I could see it because they were at home and they just got beat, so they were a little salty. Exactly. But we're talking about the first month of baseball. Yes. Everybody should be happy right now.
Like if this was Trevor Bauer, I would absolutely said, "Oh yeah, he's trolling the heck out of you guys."
And as soon as I posted the Giants friggin' video, they start winning games.
I know. Thanks for that, by the way. Let's be honest. Shohei Ohtani, I don't think that man has a trolling bone in his body. He doesn't need to. He's Shohei freaking Ohtani. Him existing makes everyone else look bad.
I'm still going to stand behind that he was the one gambling.
Well, again,
and Dodger fans rip me every time I say it. But I was like, dude, you can't tell me he did not know.
I'm just saying every single one of the greatest GOATs.
Oh, yeah. Jordan had the same gambling problem, too. So you can't tell me.
There was something negative about him. Babe Ruth had the smoking and drinking and all of that. Mike had the gambling situation, which everybody just writes off, by the way. It is literally in front of our face during The Last Dance when he loses to that one guy and he just goes,
he talks about it the whole time.
Yeah. It's like, okay. And again, I can't, that's one of the things I can't wait to talk to our guy Bolt Brady about, because this is, I think, the last time we're going to be talking to Bolt before football
Ah,
season.
break my heart today.
Well, that's what I was going to ask him though, because I don't know if he does baseball, because I don't know exactly how
I was hoping
sports bettors kind of handle baseball, or if they do it at all,
I was
because it's
hoping
a
he would
sticky
do some
situation right now.
basketball playoffs. I know he's not a big NBA guy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like, we'll talk to him. We'll see if he's going to be joining us for the next couple of weeks. But traditionally, this is the hiatus time for Bolt as we wait for football season to kick off. So.
And I got to throw out, I know we have a lot of Dodger fans, and there was some sad news in baseball with the Dodgers legend Davey Lopez passing away at the age of 80, four-time All-Star, key part of the Dodgers in their 70s, and helped win with the 81 World Series. And 80 years, man, that's
a good run.
That's a good life.
Davey Lopes. But yeah, 80. I'd take 80 years right now. I really would, especially with the year or the life that he had being a Dodger and one of the best infielders the Dodgers have ever seen. I love it, but again, yeah, very, very sad story. I heard a lot of people talk about that yesterday, especially.
It's just weird. It's one of those things when I'm sure it's happened to other people, but you never hear about the guy. And I heard about him about 2 weeks ago when baseball was starting.
Right. And then
I heard his name and I was like, man, I haven't heard that name in a while. And I apologize because I was talking about a Brooke Lopez story in the other one, but I heard his name 2 weeks ago, and I almost text Ralph, our buddy, the guy over in our sister station, Kern
he
Radio,
talked about him a little bit yesterday.
live 3 to 6 p.m. every day. But I almost texted him because there was a crazy story that went out, and I saw it on an Instagram reel shortly after that. And I'm like, man, this is 2 times I've heard his name. And then when I was prepping last night, I saw the story. I was like,
it's like the world knew that it was coming or something. I don't know. Again, maybe they did. Maybe there was some sort of health concern that we weren't aware of. But again, I'd take 80 years right now. If you told me, if God came, well, actually, no, I don't want to put a time clock on it. Let's not do that. I was like, if God came down, touched you and said, I'll give you 80 years, but you're gone after that. I don't know if I could say
live it up.
Exactly. You would have to time me out though. One more story before we hit our next break, and then I believe we might be talking to the warm-up athletic guys today, but it looks like they may be busy. Martin is a new dad, so he has been going around a lot today, or a lot lately. This is weird just because I saw the headline and I said that's not possible, but I want to float this at you, Sparky. We were just talking about the Blue Jays, but their minor league affiliate team, the Portland Sea Dogs. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, the Fisher Cats. I apologize. We're playing
Fisher
the Portland
Cats?
Sea Dogs. Scored 8 runs without a single hit in a game the other day. No major league team has ever done this before. How do you walk that many players that you gave up 8 runs in a game without a single hit being given up? That is absolutely absurd to me. Like, that doesn't sound real.
I was like, how many batters did they have to walk? Jeez.
I mean, again, they posted 10 runs in the inning as a whole, but 8 of those runs came without a single hit. That doesn't sound real to me at all in baseball, but my God, you want to talk about a rough baseball game to watch. I don't know if I'd be watching the affiliates for the Red Sox or the Blue Jays anytime soon if that's the style of baseball that we're going to be hearing about.
Insane.
8 runs without a single hit, 10 runs in the inning as a whole.
I'd be packing up my crap and headed home.
You better have some damn good promotions at that game or people are leaving their seats so quickly. Let's take a break. We'll get to some other stuff on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back.
I have to ask you this. I saw a Rashi Rice interview,
Oh Lord.
and he's playing on his final year of his rookie deal, which is a 4-year, $6 million deal, his rookie deal. And he said he wants JSN money, and he wants to stay with the Chiefs, which I'll already tell you they're not going to pay you that.
No.
But we're talking about a 4-year, $168 million deal that JSN just got. And we're talking about a guy that in 3 years has under 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, and a little over 150 receptions in 3 years. JSN money? Really?
No. If Puka ain't getting that money, you ain't getting that money.
Right.
All right. Ain't no way. No. And Puka has messed up 1 year. Like, again,
He's been dealing with injuries. He's been dealing with off the field issues. And I just don't see Kansas City paying him.
no. Hell no. Not that money. No way. Again, unless Patrick restructures his contract and gives all 160 from his contract to Rasheed, I don't see that happening.
Nah, they draft another receiver this
I
year.
want JSN money. That's
we all
funny.
do.
Yeah, we would all love JSN money. That's a very good point. Oh man, I'm still baffled by this baseball story. I'm sorry. The Fisher Cats scored 8 runs in 1 inning. I'm sorry, 10 runs in 1 inning, 8 without a single hit. I mean, 8 walks, a sac fly, a couple wild pitches, all while up 2-0. I'm with you, Sparky. I would have walked out of that stadium so damn quickly.
Unless
So
it's
damn quickly.
$2 beer night or something. Somebody.
Exactly. It's like you better have had a damn good promotion. 10 runs in the inning. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be bringing this up again. It baffles me. How did we do that? Since we're talking football, let's hit the Raiders real quick before we get to our second hour of the day. Because Kirk Cousins has come out and pretty much said, if he's not the best quarterback on that roster, he shouldn't be the starter. And honestly, this is the one thing about Kirko that I respect. Or I shouldn't say the one thing. This is one of the things about Kirko that I respect. He at least knows that if it's best for the team, he's going to do it. I mean, we're talking about a guy who came into his career as a backup to RG3. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people expected him to see the field at all due to the situation that he was in with Washington. If it wasn't for RG3 getting injured and having all of what happened to him happen, Kirko would not be where he is today and would not be making or have made more money, I guess, in his NFL career than Tom Brady. Yeah, that's real. Go look that up. This man is a highway, or at least his agent is a highway robbery expert.
He made more money than Tom Brady
He is
in contracts
and has not even sniffed a Super Bowl. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's like the Rashee Rice situation. You really want to do that? Like, no, we're not going to do that. But if the Raiders do decide to bring in Fernando Mendoza, which, let's be honest, we all know they're going to, and he sees that Fernando does have the skill and the ability to be better than him, he says he will take a step back and do what he did with Michael Penix, which is help mentor the kid, figure out what's best to help this kid develop and become the best quarterback he could possibly be so the Raiders win football games. Do you like that do you like this message from the potential starting quarterback for the Raiders? And 2, do you think that this is going to be a benefit for both sides? Because I do. I think that regardless if he's the best quarterback on the team, you still get a veteran quarterback as your leader. But if he's not the best quarterback on the team, you have essentially the perfect quarterback to teach Fernando how to be a professional. So I think it's a win-win either way.
I like the pickup. I like that off the field he's talking the right talk, considering he knows when he signed that contract what the future is for the Raiders.
Yes.
I think if he can man up and be that mentor, I know that was an issue with other teams.
Supposedly.
That's what I've heard. I don't know. I like the guy. I don't know if it's just because I watched the quarterback documentary on Netflix and made me like him, but I think it's a good fit. I think what the Raiders are doing they're going positive. They're moving forward, and with a lot of changes that are coming, I still want to see what kind of team they put together, whether it's the receiver or adding more depth to that defense. But when it comes to the quarterback position, I think having a guy like Kirk Cousins that have started from the bottom as a backup and moved his way to one of the highest paid quarterbacks over the last few years. I like the fit. I just I still think he probably starts the season, and depending on how well he plays,
Mm,
then we'll see some Mendoza in there. But what if he comes out and they win the first 3 or 4 games? Then around that bye week, they're going to be like, okay, is this the year Mendoza is just going to chill and watch and learn from
mhm.
Kirk Cousins, or it could go the opposite way and he looks good in camp and he never even plays as a Raider
Right.
quarterback? So we'll see.
Again, I think that this is just a win-win either way. And the stories of Kirko not being open to being a veteran leader for a younger quarterback, I don't know if those stories are legit. I think we just take that, or at least the media has taken that because of the way he left Minnesota, not wanting to really play that role for Minnesota because he did believe he was a starter. And obviously, getting paid the money he got paid in Atlanta, nobody expected Atlanta to go and draft a quarterback right afterwards to see if Kirk was going to be okay with it. You know what I mean? So, and we do have to remember as well, these guys are competitors. They don't want to lose their job. I mean, I was just listening to Chris Long. I can't remember what podcast it was, but Chris Long was talking about how when Aaron Donald came in and when he was a rookie, like there was a play where during training camp, Chris had to take it off because he was hurting. So they said, all right, we need D end. First person step up, Aaron Donald. We all know how good Aaron was. He won the next 3 snaps or outright, apparently, from what Chris Long said. And Chris said, I didn't care how much I was hurting. I looked at Aaron and said, get out of here. We're good. Like, thanks. I'm
Get off
good
my
now.
field.
I'll sub back in my spot. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to really walk away from something that you have been doing for a long time, especially successfully. Well, statistically successfully.
We saw that with the Tom Brady situation.
Exactly. So, and again, I don't think it's necessarily fair to say Kirko fought being a veteran leader. I think he did step up and help guys like Michael Penix and probably would have done the same for a guy like JJ McCarthy if he decided to stay with Minnesota. But he's just a competitor, man, or at least was at the time. And I think now, since he's gone through that once with Atlanta, he's more open to the idea of doing it again with the Raiders. Plus, there's no way he signed this contract fully knowing that he wasn't going to be competing for a spot. It's not like he came out of Atlanta's quarterback room last year, the overwhelming favorite. Like, let's be honest. He knew he was going to be fighting for the spot. So this is a good political answer, though, if you're a Raider fan. And it's a good answer if you're just hoping somebody can step in and help lead your young quarterback into a state of success. We got to take a break. Our friend Anthony Jauregui is on the other side, talk all things happening at the well over the weekend. Then we got Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro at the BLEAV Network, talk about the Masters right afterwards and some bets that you can make before the deadline. This is the Early Bird Special. We will be back in about 5 minutes. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM. We are also streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. See, Sparky, I did it. I did it.
He's awake.
I did it. I did it. He is awake. He was asleep outside in his car, though. He won't tell you that. But
yeah, no, I'll tell you that I was asleep in the car.
I told you. I told you.
You need
Anthony,
a driver.
Jauregui.
I do need a driver.
You need a
You
driver.
know who else is a driver? Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, when they're reaching out for your pharmaceutical records, you know there's a problem.
You know you're forging something. They're like, what are you?
Well, I think that's
Blue
what they want to
chews,
find
really,
out.
Tiger? You're taking blue chews?
You know who I am.
Honestly, I think that's why they want to look at it, because they want to make sure he's taking what he's supposed to be taking.
Yeah.
Or if there's anything on those bottles that say, hey, you can't be operating a car or heavy machinery on this.
They all say it.
Ooh, he'll be
Honestly, I feel like every Blue Chew says it. I mean, not from personal experience, but I feel like
this is the second time you brought it up. I feel like this is personal experience.
Is that what you're recovering from?
yeah, actually, I had a hangover.
Stiff
I
neck?
had a head high.
Oh, Lord. I
Uh,
walked into that one.
Anthony Jauregui is here. Good morning, sir.
What's up?
How
everybody?
was
Good morning.
the big show last weekend with Flail, which what's the tour called?
Respectfully.
Respectfully. So I'm gonna ask you respectfully.
Respectfully.
How was the show? How was the venue?
Dude, it was mad fun, man. I didn't know that many toothless women lived in Ridgecrest. It was, I had never been out there, dude. So it was like going to the hills have eyes, you know, like dude, not the people there, the trip, the drive. Like it was like, I don't know if we have listeners in Ridgecrest. You guys are good people, but it was like you, yeah, but like you walk into town, there's a tumbleweed going by. Even the tumbleweed is saluting Nazis and it's racist. Like, no, it felt like that though. But it was like when I saw a black guy work in the drive-thru at McDonald's, I was like, okay, we're good. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. This brought us back to what I said.
We're back. I saw a Chinese restaurant. I was like, all right, we're back, dude. It's good. We're good.
There's a little bit of inclusion.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was like a military town. I didn't realize that halfway through. I think there's like a Navy base. Chris Flo had mentioned it there, but dude, it was a good time. I'd never been out there. I crossed off another city out of the list of cities to perform in California. The show was great. And it was cool to kick it off with Chris. You know,
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's great and super funny. And it was just a 3-man show and just a cool vibe. It was the first time, like I had told them, and I was very grateful and stuff, that I was like the first time I've ever been on the road, quote unquote, and in another venue. There's people coming up to you and you know, giving you wristbands, offering you to do stuff in the back. It was. I feel like I was a real AC/DC, you know, like
Hell yeah.
a real rock star.
And you're just getting started, dude.
Yeah, it's just getting started 5 years in. It feels like, honestly, like woo, like I'm on the up and up, you know, like honestly, like seriously, like it's like a few years ago I was just listening to a podcast and people were like, I started doing stand-up because I just went out there and did it, and I went out there and did it, and now I'm here. So
Well, I mean, that's
awesome.
when we talk to other comedians, I always bring up your story because it's crazy how you've always said, you know, you went to a couple open mics and wanted to test it out, but was, you know, kind of just watching. And was it 2 years until you finally stepped in?
5
years?
5 years.
Just watching?
Yeah, 5 years intermittently. You know,
Okay.
I wasn't like every week going and like, but I would like
Just that guy in the corner.
Right. They're like, who is he? He still hasn't taken his hand out of his pants.
Oh, Lord.
He still has his sunglasses on.
Yeah, what the heck? They're not prescription. Yeah, it was, dude, just intermittently because I was at CSUB. I had to go do a play and go sing in a musical, and then I'd be like, but I really want to be doing stand-up comedy. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing theater and stuff. I felt like I couldn't say what I wanted to say at theater, so now I'm gonna play
In between Annie songs and comedy.
They wouldn't even let you
Where are
improv
you?
stuff.
No.
No.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did improv too, but like, and when I acted, I would do like I would always I got in trouble for being off stage and trying to make my castmates break during shows. Like I was at CSUB for the Gamester in 2016, 15 spring. And my director got so pissed at me because she found out during a show I was on the side making people laugh while they were performing. And the next day she came in
She's probably
screaming at me.
watching from the crowd saying, "Why is everybody laughing during
What's
this
so
show?
funny about
What's
this?
so funny
What's so
back
funny
there?
about the
This is a
Nutcracker?"
drama.
No, the thing is, like, someone ratted me out too. It wasn't even like, I don't think I volunteered that information. Like, she found out and like came and lectured me, and it was just bad, dude. And that's like I had it just been building already where I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. I'm like, I'm not doing what I should be doing, but I always felt like it would lead to something.
See, but
so.
you are the one that makes drama fun. I'm gonna tell you
Oh.
that right now because I know a lot of my friends who just took drama just for the hell of it to get the
Yeah,
credits
yeah.
and stuff like that. And they always talked about the one guy that just maybe it was you, who knows? But the one
Honestly.
guy that would always just make them laugh.
Yeah.
So
I know, and that's it sucks because in comedy you go and people will start doing it. They're like, so what are you? Are you the funny guy? Are you the guy that makes everybody laugh? And people are like, yeah, I make my friends laugh. And I'm like, all right, go make some strangers laugh.
right.
That's like
It's a completely different animal.
yeah, that is because then you have to be likable as a person, and what you're saying has to be, not too vulgar. I don't know, I don't want to say that, but I don't know, you
Just
just
genuine.
you got to be a likable person, because if you can get smelled out real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Not in a good way either.
Well, I mean, you got to experience that when you went to Ridgecrest. How was dealing with a crowd that you've never been in front of before?
Oh, dude, it was kind of cool because usually when I do a show for a crowd that I haven't been in front of, I can do my act
Right.
where I'm not like, they've heard this before. I've already asked them if they're uncles and aunts. Like, it's just one of my bits, but it's if it's a little free, but then it's also like, I don't know. Are there Mexicans or Latino stuff going on here that they're gonna understand what I'm joking about? And there was like maybe a couple, but it was primarily white people there. So it's like that's what I kind of have to adjust, but I'm okay with that. Like I perform in front of white people all the time. They're not bad or anything, but it's just like as a guy who does some I mean, you guys are cool. That guy back there with the hoodie on too. He's all right.
I was actually born a poor black child, so I just recently got into the cracker world. And
He did. He had the Michael Jackson treatment done.
Can I have the nose?
No,
that was the one thing that I'm
way too expensive.
It still has drugs in it. But
Lord.
no, it's good performing in front of a crowd you don't know because you can let it rip,
Yeah.
But I was a little nervous, tap dancing,
Well, that's why I wanted to know because
like,
it's a brand new crowd. You had just said you had never been there before. You had no idea what Ridgecrest was even about. So,
as soon as I made like a cocaine joke or like I said like some dirty thing, people were like, aha. I'm like, all right, they get
type of people.
They get down over here, okay. But like if you say something and they're like they like scoff at it, they're like,
gosh.
but it's like another one of these towns where they don't have a weekly comedy show or monthly comedy show, so the whole town comes out. It was date night. People went to Denny's afterward. It was a good time.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was a great time. Thanks
Sweet.
again, Chris.
What is the club called?
It was just a random bar. Like,
oh, okay.
The Patriot, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
the
what it is?
Oh,
Patriot,
that's
yeah.
right. Flail
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, it was the Patriot. Great, cool, hot bartenders. It was a good time.
And he mentioned you guys are
That
gonna
always
be.
makes it fun.
You're
I
gonna do
got a Sprite refill 6 times. I don't know.
Nice. Well, no,
What was his name?
Flail mentioned that you're gonna actually do a couple more shows with him on this tour.
Yeah. The 25th we're in Clovis up there in Fresno, and then the 1st of
You've been out there yet?
Yeah, not I've been to Clovis, but not at that specific venue. I think it's like a brewery, but Fresno Clovis shows are hit or miss. But hopefully this one will be a hit. Mainly it's the depends on the organization of the thing, but Chris is great at organizing shows and events and promoting and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it'll be great. But I've done some of these shows where you show up and there's no audience, and I don't think that's what will happen this time.
This
but
is why no one likes Fresno. They don't show up.
it's
the problem.
Honestly,
sucks.
Fresno
dude,
sucks.
Fresno does suck. Honestly, except for when
Remember when they tried to do the Frez Yes thing?
Oh Jesus!
No.
Because they got so I can't remember how long ago it was, but they hated that no was on the end of their name, so they started saying Frez Yes instead.
Yeah, that was like I feel like that
Super
was
lame.
recently. I was like,
Was that
yeah,
recent?
I,
I
feel like,
swear to God, I swear that was like 10 years ago. But
well, I feel like maybe it's one of these things that just comes resurging like
Yeah,
every so
probably.
often. Like, hey, we're not no's, we're yes.
no,
It's like
you're
yeah,
very much a
Lord.
no. Very much a
Well,
no.
I did see they're actually gonna let you do the open mic tonight.
Yeah, I'm allowed. I got
Yes.
permission.
I was
It's gonna be
the one
great.
Thursday I had off last week and they didn't have it, so I was like, all right.
Nah, dude. It's back tonight, man. So if you've been missing out open mic nights, it's a hoot. It's a hoot, dude. No, literally, there's an owl present at the show. No,
His name is Hedwig.
yeah, he gives you a letter and lets you know you're going away from your family.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. You're a Harry Potter guy?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, let's talk after the show.
Never seen him.
Hufflepuff, baby.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Ravenclaw. Arr! Yeah.
That's my wife and son. They know all about the Harry Potter stuff. And did you see they're redoing it? They're
No.
redoing the
Yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah, with the black Snape.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what
yeah.
that means, but
Well, one of the professor's name is Snape. Fool.
I have no idea.
He's African American now.
I'm not
They
touching
did it
that
for the
one.
culture, okay?
I have no idea what the hell he just said.
Anyways,
But yeah, we saw the trailer and my wife was like, "Oh gosh, they're redoing it."
Yeah.
Okay.
that's what everybody
They're gonna
wants. is a
redo
remake.
everything.
Everybody wants to just remake stuff. We can't.
I
make
hope
new
that
stuff
wasn't
no
right
more.
after she saw Severus Snape. It was like the whole thing was.
Oh Lord.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they
so,
casted
well,
an African, or I don't even know if it's an African American. It's
Yeah,
a black dude. Sorry, let's call it.
African man.
Yeah, they call
Anthony's
it.
comments on this show has nothing to do with their American General Media.
This is
or
why
the
we have a
Universal
disclaimer before and after the show now.
But I know there's some big shows Friday night, Saturday night. Mike E. Winfield.
Yes.
I don't even now.
Did I say it wrong? Is it
Maybe.
Mikey?
No, you said everything
He's
fine.
he's laughing at you now. Just
No.
solely.
I'm sorry, I don't like Harry Potter. I'm not a big magic person.
Yeah, this Friday and Saturday we have Severus Snape at the club. No.
Do you know anything about
Dude,
Mikey?
Mike, I have a not even funny story, but the only time I ever went on the road with Dan Betts in Vegas.
Oh Lord,
Yeah,
bets
right, it
in
was-
Vegas.
Betts in Vegas. It's a lot of talking and not a lot of talking because he's talking.
Yeah.
But no,
Respect your authority.
yeah. Dan Betts did something impressive on the way to Vegas. He's the only guy I've ever known to talk the entire way from Bakersfield to Vegas. Literally,
I can see that.
no stopping it. It was like it'd be a dead time in the conversation. Be like, so what do you guys think? And it's like, dude,
I'm telling you, it's a
Let it
Chicago
go.
thing. No, it's a Chicago,
Chicago
thing because
thing.
my stepdad's family's from Chicago and they're the same way.
yeah.
Same way. Any trip we've ever taken, they have to stop at every
Right,
major
yeah.
stop too, and
Yeah.
they're talking from point A to point B. It does not stop. It's a full conversation, dude. That's crazy.
Oh,
It's gotta
like,
be a
I'm off
Chicago
the clock. I don't have to listen to you.
See, I love you, Bets, but sometimes
It's gotta be a
I
Chicago.
don't know if it's the
thing,
coffee or
bro.
I guess it is the Chicago thing.
Let's chalk it up to Chicago. Let's blame all the city of Chicago.
Is that why you hate it so much? The
Yeah.
Packer side of you just says,
Screw
"Oh my
the
God,
Bears,
they
dude.
talk
What-
so
what-
the
much."
Bears.
What kind of comedy is
Well, so-
Mikey?
I was getting dude, he's hilarious. We saw him at.
Well, you
so-
said that you say that about every comedian.
Well, this one I've seen before.
Okay.
Personally, I've seen him.
It's not as
actually.
like a social media star
No,
that's
no.
trying comedy for the first time
no.
and they're running with the same
Listen,
thing for 5
listen,
years.
listen,
Sparky's
Black
been wanting to
Snape,
take
okay?
shots for the last couple days.
He has a gun in there.
Well, Brady's gonna gun.
You're mad because the 720 guest didn't show up. You're gonna take it out on
I had nothing to do with me. I had plenty of prep.
This is true.
Dude, so there's a show in Vegas that's called The Dirty at 12:30, which is like a dirty themed show where people go up and do raunchy material. It started at 12:30. Mike E. Winfield went up maybe about 2 a.m. and he finished his set at 3 a.m. He kept us awake. Like it
Right
was,
on.
and I usually fall asleep after 12:45 a.m. Not gonna lie, like, dude, he's really funny and he does it like not storytelling, but like talks about his family and stuff. Like one of his big bits is he has like an older stepson, so talking about that dynamic. But I just remember him doing a lot of like family type stuff. But I wouldn't say it was a lot more like setup punchline type jokes. Of course, there's punchlines,
Yeah.
but I'd say more like maybe storytelling, long form type things,
High
longer
energy.
bits. I wouldn't say high energy. You know, I think there was energy there, but not someone that's overtly like, yeah, let's go. But like, you know, then again, it was 2 a.m.
I
in
was gonna
Vegas,
say.
so he could have just been tired or just like a different energy for the show. But we were all laughing, and it was 2 a.m. at South Point, and that's not a great casino. So it was sorry if that's an affiliate, but no, it was
No,
actually
it
a
is
good
not.
time.
No, we're good.
But no, dude, it's a good time, and I think just maybe again more storytelling.
Well,
and
he'll be
yeah.
there Friday and Saturday night. We've got tickets. Hit him up. Hit
Mhm.
us up if you need them. If you need more, buy them at thewellcomedyclub.com.
Mhm.
But the big main event that I'm looking forward to this weekend is the
Oh,
return
yeah.
of the roast battle
Dude, I was
this
writing
Sunday.
jokes last night.
Yeah?
I wrote 15 roast jokes for this
My
dude.
God.
No, that's like the scrap. That's like me throwing stuff at the wall and
And
seeing
see
like,
what sticks.
and maybe out of the 15, I love like 7 of them, you know, and then I like maybe 3 extra, but like you keep that like good, dude.
How many are you
I
guys
was
gonna be able to
nervous.
have?
So you get 2 rounds of a minute, and you can do basically as much as you can fit in there.
In the minute?
But because of laughter or interjections
Yeah.
or anything, you probably get anywhere from like 5 to 8 jokes.
That's
You
more
know?
than I thought you would get
No,
out.
yeah, and that's like if you're rifling them off, you know. But
Yeah.
if you're doing well, you'll get less because you're getting so many laughs. But
I was gonna say, because you have to leave time for the reaction from the crowd, because that's what determines if it was a good roast or not.
yeah, no, that's what I was telling my buddy Andrew Idell, friend of the show,
Mhm.
last night. We were riding. I'm like, dude, if you get a lot of jokes off, you're bombing. Like,
Yeah.
but if you get like you're able to get off and you look off, you're like, dude, I had a whole bunch of jokes left. You're
If
like,
you
oh, you
can
did
knock
well.
them
Like,
out in 3 jokes, you know you won the entire
yeah,
thing.
I don't think Mike Tyson's done that in a roast, but like, there's been like, if you can knock them out with the least punches, always better.
I
dude.
agree.
Like, yeah,
So
I
if you
agree.
get through that first round, do you get set up for the second round, or is that for the next one?
it's for that. It's just in that moment. So
Okay.
like it's we'll say it's like 10 minutes on stage with this other person,
Mhm.
but you have 1 minute to like 1 minute round, and then they have a 1 minute round, and then you have a 1 minute round, and they
Right.
have a 1 minute round. But
Right, but if he's saying if you say
there a
beat
second
that
round?
guy, is there a second round? Like if say you won and Trevor won, are you two going up against each other in the same night, or do we have to wait until the next roast battle to see that one happen?
so I think this is not a tournament. This is not
Okay.
one of those where it's like
You just
but
beat somebody.
That is
You-
kind of how he was saying. Is I think he wants to try a tournament style
Yes.
next time.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I think he was saying like maybe
What was that? Sorry.
a
I thought
pit bull in there.
okay, I was like, what the hell just happened?
The
Sorry.
kid had just hit puberty
Oh Lord.
on the air.
So I'm sorry. We're going to be
heard a
developing
ball
this
drop.
into a.
It might be a tournament,
Those
right?
are big balls,
Yeah.
Dawson.
It's gonna be a hopefully going to a tournament, and like these other cities do it. Like they have roast battle San Francisco, roast battle Los Angeles,
Right.
roast
Yeah.
battle Tokyo,
Right.
and they basically get the best person to go. So basically, like
So this could just be like a prequel or a prelim to that.
almost like a prelim. It's
Yeah.
basically like who's gonna do the best out of all the joke writers, because it's been over a year since we've had a roast battle
Yeah.
in Bakersfield. So it's like
we're setting up the bracket right now.
exactly like who's basically competing for a spot to go to a tournament.
Yeah.
You know, but the tournament maybe not be set up yet, but that's kind of the idea, right? We're getting like we're throwing the net out, seeing like who bites and who's got it. But
Love
dude,
that.
similar to MMA, man, like if you're into fighting and it's the same type, they raise your hand at the end of it, like
Nice.
they do the ding ding ding, like it's there's maybe someone drop kicking an audience member. It's like
I was just thinking, because that would be difficult. Say you've been, prepping for the guy you're going up against,
yeah,
and then they'd have to do a second round with, Andrew or something.
yeah.
That would be tough because
Oh,
you
yeah.
weren't prepared. You didn't know anything about.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. How
Mhm.
do you prepare those jokes on the fly?
Oh, and I think even when they do like the roast battle for like Comedy Central and stuff, when they
Mhm.
used to do that, they'd be like, all right, they're off writing jokes right now and they're gonna be back. And who knows if that was real or not. But it was like that's how they set it up. It's like you just won and this person just won. So in the same episode, you're gonna go write jokes and come back.
Is there any stipulation for losing at all on Sunday?
You get pantsed on stage.
Oh,
No,
I
no,
don't think anybody wants to see that.
You don't have to do hunks.
Yeah, right. Black Snape. No, it's once you lose, that's it. Like you
There's
just you get known as
You'll be
the-
lower
it-
on the bracket during the tournament,
Dude,
essentially.
it's so embarrassing losing, dude. I've lost pretty embarrassingly before, and
I think
it's not a good feeling, dude.
No, I agree, especially in this type of situation, because I have had some fun ones with friends just for the hell of it, like
Sure.
if we're just at home. But it's more of like if you have you feel like you have one that's just gonna knock them out, and it's gonna be that joke that's gonna win you the whole thing, and then they knock you out before you
Oh,
ever
yeah.
even get to use
Oh,
that
dude,
one.
it could. I'm worried for Andrew. Andrew's getting a little confident. Andrew's funny. I've been not helping him write his jokes, but I've been like we've been writing together, working on stuff.
Yeah,
and,
bouncing
like,
stuff back and forth.
he's like, dude, Trevor's worried. Like, he's scared of me, and I'm like, Andrew.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Trevor ain't scared of nothing right now.
Dude,
he is very confident.
I know it. He's been chewed up and spitting out mediocre white boys since 1994. Let's get that straight. So,
He came in, was it Monday?
yeah,
And
he came in, he
Yeah,
was just
no,
like
he
all
was-
poker face, like,
uh-huh.
I just love the.
you'll all see.
I meant to make this a clip, and I might still do it. But him saying, "Thanks for giving me film, Andrew, before the
Oh,
game."
yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
that was pretty funny. But
Yeah.
he is very confident that he's
Yeah,
gonna
Trevor
win.
will have a game plan. I don't know if he'll execute it though. Everybody can do research, but it takes a real
See,
man to go up there and
I laugh at that, not to throw shade or anything,
No,
but it's
shade.
like watch Trevor go up and have the best set of the night while everybody else just bombs.
dude.
Like,
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Andrew, that's what I was telling him. I'm like, you can go up there. If you say one and it don't work, it'll be over for you quick.
Uh-huh.
Like,
you got to make sure every
a
single
roast
one
battle,
hits.
a roast battle. If you bomb a normal set, people they start effing with you after. They're like, all right, screw that guy, he's not funny. But a roast battle, you have to go for a second time in that set, and people are
Right.
like, oh, you just sucked. We got to listen to you again. Like what I've seen before is like, there's never anybody that like you kill a first round and then lose the second round. It's usually like you're dying.
Yeah, you
If
died
you
in
die the first round, you die the second round. Like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of coming back from it. Like, and you can kind of tell like immediately, like, oh, who's nervous and who's not. Like if they start, you'll see some hands shaking while reading a note
It's like
card.
I have to go back up.
Yeah. You stay up there just taking
you
it.
just have
Like,
to
yeah,
take it.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. And that is Sunday, 6:00.
Roast battle Sunday, 6:00, dude. Good time. So that's like an indie show. Mikey Winfield's like a professional touring comic. You'll see a lot more locals on Sunday. Different vibes, still a good time. I promise you. I know I'm required to say that, but nah.
No, it's a busy weekend.
It's a good time.
Starting with open mic tonight.
Mhm.
How is I mean, what are you expecting tonight?
Dude,
As it comes with the lineup, or just
I've been having a lot of great time with the open mics, man. We've had a ton of comedians, but I feel like the energy of the shows have been great. Just knocked on. I don't think this is wood, but dude,
I
it's
actually don't know what this is.
yeah. MDF. It's
what was left after the burnt
Yeah,
side
exactly.
of the station.
They were afraid to put a wood table down just in case.
It's hopefully hopefully we have a lot of comics and a lot of audience, and the audience will be up to you guys. But all I'm saying is, like, if you're listening to this and you're wondering should I come check it out, come check it out. I guarantee you we'll put on a good show. Like, I can guarantee it. It's because we have, even when we have new comics go up, part of the fun of watching an open mic is seeing a new comic go up and watch them either do well or not. And that's for everybody. But I try to make it a really warm, welcoming environment for all the comics and all the people watching the show. So it's just been fun, honestly. Like I've been hosting mics for a few years now. This is probably the not first time, but the last few times have been really where I'm like getting in a stride, where I'm like, I'm having fun hosting. I'm comfortable. The shows have been good. I'm not like going up and be like, what was that? Oh my God. I'm like, I can adjust. It's a good time, but
Well,
really
since you've
come
been
check it
hosting
out.
it for a while, I'm gonna throw in a different question for you, because I mean, our listeners, you've heard the comedians that come in weekly. You know the Dan Betts, the Anthony Jaureguis, the Chris Flells, but being a host of an open mic every week, if you had to pick 3 comedians that you've seen rise up or coming up into their own, what 3 comedians just offhand would you say are rising, are getting better each time, that we should keep an eye out on?
I think you guys should keep an eye out on Bobby Ortiz Jr., Danny Castro.
Bobby Ortiz, he's been on before, right? He's the bus driver.
Yeah, bus
Yes.
driver. Yeah, the
He was the
Severus
Page
Snape.
man that we
bus
Yes,
driver.
I remember.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. So I think honestly, like, because those are like,
It's got to be tough because I know you deal with 20, 25 of them a
no, and then
week
I
on
would,
top of all the
and I
other
would
ones.
say, like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like people that show sparks. There's people that you guys don't even know, that we don't even know, that have been that done it less than 10 times, where I
Yeah.
see that and I'm like, oh dude, like these dudes, like they
They
might
can do
actually,
it.
like, yeah, like
Yeah.
if they
They've
just
got
do it for another couple years, like it's just people are like, all right, I did it 10 times, I'm good. And I'm like, I've been doing this consistently for over 4 years. Like it's not something you just come do and then everything happens. Like you have, it's just so much work. So like Bobby and Danny definitely are two guys that, I mean, stepped into the scene that weren't here before, and now that they're here, they're like doing bigger things. You know, like
Mhm.
Danny is gonna start co-hosting the roast battles, and that's like being part of a whole project. Bobby's doing his own, like he's doing a lot of different things, like really just creating his own avenue. So I think that's respectable. But there's a lot of like people that are like showing really glimmers, and I think those two are maybe the ones that I want to like really like.
Of
That's what
course.
Showcase.
I really see, you know. But even Darling Hernandez, she's been doing it longer than me, but that's why I'm like, I don't know who to recognize here. Like, there's people that have been doing it, maybe not up and comers, but have been doing it that are, you know, actually
Right.
Darling, I'd been seeing for a few years, and you know, nothing really ever caught my eye. I've seen her do shows and here and there, but like lately, she's just been posting a lot more on social media and getting
Mhm.
like millions of views. And like, even if she's just dancing and showing her butt and stuff, but she's like, even like she's doing everything comedically and like creating like a character online and like
Finding her
owning it
way.
and owning it in person. And the other day, she freaking murdered. Like, I was so like, she did 7 minutes. She should have done like way more than 10. Like she was murdering at the club, and that is someone that like that it's a local person that has been around for a minute, but is like now taking a jump. Like,
Mhm.
you know, those are like, you know, definitely three people that I see like doing things that are to a next level. Because I think about myself, like I wasn't just an open micer. I was producing shows with Bad Neighbor, and we had our own podcast. We were doing sold out, the first sold out shows at the Old Well Comedy Club were from me and Bad Neighbor. Like so like the secret show, we were on the news for that.
I think
Like
that was the first time I saw you live.
yeah, so dude, it's that was, I remember that. That's crazy. Like and it's so when I see people doing like big producer type shows, or like they're hosting this or going over there, I'm like, that I respect. Like,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm like, okay, you're chiseling, you're slowly edging yourself up.
Mhm.
However, you know, anything can shift. Those, you know, like people can jump up and come back down or this and that, but like definitely those three comics I'd say are like locals that are like, watch out for them.
Yeah, I just asked because like I always say, every time I go to one of these shows, and I'm always like surprised when I leave because there's like 3 or 4 comics that I've never seen, never heard of, that steal the show in my eyes. I mean,
Mhm.
everybody's, you know, favorite type
Sure,
of
sure.
comedy is different, but it was the same thing. I mean, seeing you the first time, seeing, you know, Boydston years and years ago, and I'm like, man, this guy's got it, man. He had me belly laughing, and I'm seeing a lot. And now that we've talked to more comedians here in town, we're seeing a lot more shows, whether it's Jay Bird doing his over
Mhm.
at Roosters. You know, we talked to a couple comics that are doing the ones over at A Slice of Italy,
Mhm.
you know, Flail doing his thing, you know, on top of everything that's going on at the Well Comedy Club. It is just awesome
Yeah.
to see all the options and opportunities for these comics to get on mics and get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great that we have a local scene, you know, to support that. You know,
Mhm.
people just going out, and whether they're interested in performing or interested in watching, you guys, I mean, giving us a platform. So it's a real
Well, we're going to try
yeah.
something new next week
Mhm.
where when comics come in, you guys are going to have 3-4 minutes to just do your own thing.
It's got to be
So some
clean
of
though.
these, yeah, we got to keep
It's
it
got to
clean,
keep
or
it
we
clean
have to
for
do it during
radio,
the
but
commercial break. But we're going to give you guys an opportunity to do, you know, a
Can't wait.
3-minute set. So our listeners,
we
you know, we're
probably
trying
do.
to instigate, you know, our listeners to go out and support
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this scene. So, you know, you can hear us talk about, you know, our football teams or upcoming shows, but I figure we'll take the next step and let you guys have 3 or 4
Absolutely.
minutes.
Oh yeah, I'd be excited to see that. I can't wait to
So
see
we're gonna give
how
him
it.
3-4 minutes
Oh
every
yeah.
week.
Me? No, not me. Come on.
Every
dude.
so
I'm-
often.
He's busy, and I have to
You
wake
gotta
him
do
up
it
to
every
come
so
in.
often.
Listen. My stuff that I don't write is probably funnier than the stuff that I do write. So,
But it also opens up the opportunity. You do the open mic, the biggest open mic here in town. So if
Yeah.
you want to snack somebody one week
Mhm.
and
Oh,
be like,
yeah.
"Hey, dude, let him do 3 minutes," but no, we that would be a lot of prep for
That's what I'm thinking.
all
in
the
my
shows
head.
you're
It's like
already doing.
3 minutes every week is gonna be rough, but every
a
once in
little
a while,
Kiltonian here. I come in here and
Uh-huh.
just make some racist jokes.
and then we are the judges.
Yeah.
Born to judge, bud.
Yeah.
Open mic tonight, yes, tonight, Thursday. Forgot.
Tonight,
is
door
Thursday.
6, show 7. Pull up.
Fantastic. And then obviously all of the shows at the Well you can find tickets for at the Well Comedy Club. Anthony,
.com.
thank you so much
Look up
for your time.
Bamfany.
Banfany, yeah, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I did high school.
I was just wondering because when I
Half-
look it up, it's on, I'm
Is
like, what
bad. So Banff is badass mother effer,
Okay.
and then funny is phony.
Uh-huh.
Like so bad, half badass,
Oh,
half
Half
phony.
I was way off then.
Yeah, it's something
What,
I'll
you just
never.
thought it was close to his name, so he said
I didn't
sure.
know what the
I'm
hell
gonna change
happened.
it to Black Severus Snape.
Oh Lord.
Thank you guys.
We gotta take a
yes.
break. Thank you, brother. We appreciate your time. Bolt Brady will be on the other side. Hopefully, give you guys some bets for the Masters if you haven't made them already. This is the early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM. We're also streaming video live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And it's time to talk to Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro at the BLEAV Network as the Masters is underway. As day one has begun. Like I told you guys, personally, in my opinion, some of the more fun groups will be going around 10 o'clock. I know two of the major groups already started at 7, but let's get Bolt in here and talk about his favorites for this tournament. Sir, how are you?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How are we feeling about the Masters? What bets did we make?
Oh, it's so awesome. I love the Masters. I love like when we get into the weekend and you wake up early and it's basically all the big names playing still. So you can watch all day. But yeah, a couple of my guys have started off well. I on our podcast, my brother and I were talking about it, and I talked about Patrick Reed, and he's currently tied for first, and then Sam Burns, I mentioned him also, and he's tied for fourth.
Nice, very cool. So we got a couple out there. I was kind of warning everybody though, you should probably wait off a little bit before starting to believe that the first day leader will win this entire tournament. But it's always good to get out on the right foot, right?
Oh yeah, no, I mean Shane Lowry, for example, right? I also had Shane, and Shane started off -2 after 2 holes, and I'm like, yes. And then I look back, and after 6 holes, he's now +1.
Yeah, I was gonna say VJ Singh was kind of in the same area. Now he's 3 over. So I'm like, don't expect these guys to keep it up that consistently. But somebody will step up and make a name for themselves, I would assume, since this year we don't have Tiger or Phil to do that.
Right. I know the first time since 1994 that either one of those guys is playing.
So get used to it.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably going to be the future of a lot of these things. So you're going to take Patrick Reed then to win this whole shebang, or do you have somebody else?
Well, I like, as far as the big guns go, a lot of people are in those tournaments where you have your top tier, like your tier 1 players, your tier 2. So the tier 1 guy that I like is John Rahm. I think, people have talked about Rory, but the problem is to repeat as a champion at the Masters is super difficult. There's only been 3 people to do it: Tiger, Jack Nick, and Nick Faldo.
Right. And let's also not forget that Rory struggled to even win this tournament for how long before he finally won it last year. So it's not going to magically just click for him.
Right.
So
exactly.
I agree with you 100%. Personally, I'm taking Scotty, the new father, again, and Sparky here has taken Bryson DeChambeau as the winner. How do you feel about DeChambeau using a 3D printed iron? How do you feel about that?
No, he's always been so. It works for him clearly. Yeah, a lot of people like him. He's the last couple of years he's done really well at the Masters, so they're just waiting for the breakthrough. I think what'll be interesting about Scotty, and I love Scotty, but his iron play is his strongest part of his game.
Right.
And the last 2 weeks, he's actually lost shots to the field, which hasn't happened in 567 days.
Right. And I mean, but see, that's what I was trying to highlight the other day is the way Scotty plays is very much like Tiger, very just technical. He's going to figure out what's wrong and he's going to find a way to fix it while playing. So that's why, I don't know. I feel like that is what is leading to him be the best golfer in the world.
I would agree. I would never doubt the guy. That would be foolish to doubt Scotty for sure.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the Masters, there's a whole bunch of weird traditions. What is one that always makes you think, wow, I can't believe they still do that?
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool things about the Masters. Like people might not. So it's actually called spruce pine sand, and it's super, super white and very, very fluffy. They grow their own sod. Clearly there's no cell phones allowed on property. In fact, I don't know if you guys saw, I'm sure you did, that Mark Calcavecchia got kicked off the property.
I did hear this. We haven't talked about it yet, but I did see Mark got kicked off.
Yeah, and he's a major champion. It's not like he's a scrub or anything. Right. I think so. It's interesting how very strict they are and used to their ways.
I think Adam Schefter last year got a warning because he had taken a call outside of the course, mind you, but he still had it on the premises. And they told him, I don't care who you are or if you work for ESPN, you better put that phone away or we're kicking you out.
No, I know. Yeah. And another thing that's cool is, when they win the green jacket, they get it for 1 year, and then they have to get it back, and the only time they ever wear it again is when they're on the property.
Right. I've always found that to be interesting as well, and I'm assuming they all wear it during the dinner when they all get together. But there are just so many odd traditions, and I say odd in a good way because you just don't see this in any other sport. Period. I mean, it's so old school, very traditional, but at the same time, for some reason, every year it just feels like a modern thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they put so much money into it, right?
Yeah. I mean, enough that you get a $1.50 pimento cheese sandwich whenever you want one.
It's so great that there's finally a place that hasn't raised their prices.
Right? It doesn't touch golf, man. I don't know how it works, but I guess when you have enough money, they just don't care how much they have to sell or how much they sell it for. They're going to make their money regardless.
Yes, they are, especially off the clothes and stuff there.
So, real quick before we move off of the Masters, what do you look for when you are betting on golf for people who do not listen regularly?
Well, so as you mentioned, the Masters, there's tradition because it's always the same course. So that makes it way, way different than the rest of the majors. And so you can look at prior history, and prior Augusta success is a huge check mark. And then elite iron play. You'll hear so much about the greens and how fast they are, and that's all very true. But Sergio Garcia and Adam Scott are both terrible at putting compared to their peers. And they both have Masters jacks it. So the thing that you need to look for is strong par 5 play, scoring. So to give you an example, like when Rahm won it, his final score was -12, and he was -10 on the par 5s, and Scotty was -10, and he was -8 on the par 5. So I look for this course who plays the par 5s really well.
Well, we had a listener text in, said he was going with Scheffler and wanted to know. He said he does a 3-man, a group of him and his buddies. They pick 3 golfers and they have a budget. So he said Scheffler pretty much used all his cup and wanted to know if you could roll off some middle of the pack type names that would help him out.
Yeah, I would definitely say Sam Burns. He's someone that flies under the radar, but I've been following him for a long time. He does well. In fact, he does exactly what he does now, where he jumps out into the front and then he falls back, and usually he'll take like a top 15, but hopefully he can hold on here. My brother mentioned Akshay Bhatia, whose world ranking is 21st in the nation, but he's 4th in the FedEx. So those are a couple of guys that are off the radar a little bit.
Well, Bhatia right now is 1 under, so he's looking pretty good through 6.
Right, exactly. I think one thing that for people to know is that after Saturday, that there's really not too big. There aren't huge comebacks. You have to be within 4 strokes after the 3rd round,
right?
Typically,
especially at this tournament, for some reason, people just don't have that big 3rd, 4th day to make a massive turnaround. You're right. What do you make of this Gary Woodland story? Do you think that he's going to be able to pull something off?
I mean, it sure would be great, right? He just recently won. I think it's awesome that he came, out in public with the struggles that he was having, and then to watch him succeed after that. I mean, yeah, it's like a Disney movie.
I agree with you, but I mean, for a guy who deals with PTSD to be in the same group as the #1 golfer in the world, that's going to be a massive crowd, especially not only just because of Scotty, but because you're in that group now too. I worry that that's going to get the better of him here.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, I mean, I think what's really interesting about Gary is he was a very successful basketball player.
Yeah, I had read that.
Yeah, he played college basketball, and then he gave it up like after his freshman or sophomore year, and then went and played golf.
Yeah, he probably saw that he could make more money playing golf than he could at basketball. So, I mean, I don't blame him. You can make a lot of money playing this game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it'd be great to see him do well.
Absolutely. And then one final question for you, my friend, before we let you go. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your thoughts on this whole Tiger update. They're looking into his prescriptions. Yeah. Where do you think this is going? Let's be honest. We talked about it earlier. You could say it. If there's one pill bottle that says you cannot drive while taking these, he's done. He's absolutely screwed.
I was kind of thinking the same thing where, there could be the people out there that are like, hey, buddy, you've had enough chances.
Exactly. Like they gave you 4 shots here, man.
Yeah. And there's the people out there that are saying, we don't care who you are. you're still breaking the law and you're going to pay.
Absolutely.
1000%. And we appreciate your time, Bolt. And I just have to say, how about them Wolverines, man? I took that March Madness this year, baby.
Bring that up.
I brought it this year. I finally won 20 years of playing in this pool at work, and I finally pulled it out.
Congratulations, my friend. That's awesome.
Mr. Bolt, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you as always. Are we going to talk to you next week, or are we on hiatus until football?
No, we could talk next week. We could talk some college or some NBA hoops, right?
Fantastic. We'll talk NBA with you next week. And actually, real quick before we let you go, I was curious about this just because with all the betting stuff going on in baseball. How do handicappers really take on baseball? Do you guys really stay away from it? Is it a game that like you have to specialize in? Because I know you could bet on literally everything in a baseball game nowadays.
Right. So there's going to be people that specialize and focus in on props, strikeouts or home runs. And then you're going to have people that which I don't do. I don't do props at all. And I focus a little bit more on just the winner of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet baseball less than any of the other sports that I do, but the people that really get into it, what's nice about it is it's every single day.
Right.
So you can really get into, they're traveling and who's pitching well. But yeah, usually you're going to have people that specialize in props and then people that just specialize in the game.
Yeah, and I can imagine that the hot streaks can go really quickly during a baseball run though.
Well, and then and they can actually go long too. You
True.
can get like the 7 or 8 games in a row.
Very true. That's a good point. So, all right, cool. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you as always. We'll talk with you next week.
Sounds good, fellas.
Let's take oh wait, do we have a final break or are we staying? We have a final break. Let's take that final break real quick and we'll get into some final stories before we get out of here. Colin Kaepernick has decided he will be releasing a memoir, believe it or not, 10 years after he decided to take a knee. We'll talk about that on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Quick segment here before we get out of here on the early bird special. We appreciate you all joining us 7 to 9 a.m. as always on 101.1 FM, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Feel free to follow us on all social media platforms as well. But yes, Colin Kaepernick, everybody's favorite 49er quarterback, has decided that he will publish his memoir,
Yay.
The Perilous Fight. It will be published on September 15th. I just don't think anybody really is going to be asking for this. Now, there's going to be plenty of fans who go and actually read this and want to know from his perspective what happened, myself included. But I think at this point we can all pretty much just say, Colin, just let it go, brother. Just let it go. I know you're trying to do what you can to make money and do what you got to do to be a success in your own way. But we don't need a memoir.
Start a podcast.
There you go. Everybody else does. And honestly, imagine the clips that will come from Colin Kaepernick.
Right?
Let's be honest.
I'd rather listen to him than Cam Newton. I'm just saying.
I know you feel that way. I love Cam. A lot of his takes can be very wild. Don't get me wrong. Especially, have you seen this beef between Whitlock and Matt Barnes? Holy, Whitlock went whole heart like.
And even the Cars went after Kirk Cousins in a recent episode.
Did they really?
It wasn't attacking him. It was just telling everyone just to relax. It's not that big of a contract. I know it sounds bigger, but it's just a rent a year. It's not. Don't.
So
dig
basically,
deep
the same thing that I had been saying about the Tua situation. And again, I see their point, but I also get the frustrations. I really do. They're there and they're mounting, especially if you're a Raider fan. But we got to get out of here for the day. Join us back here tomorrow, 7 to 9. We're hoping to talk to DJ Reed, NFL cornerback, ahead of their football camp this weekend. Hopefully we'll hear from him. Plus, we'll have Flail in here, talk all things comedy, wrestling, and all that type of good stuff.
We did have a listener that texted in asking, when are we going to do our WrestleMania predictions?
Next week. All week next week. You kidding? I already warned y'all. It's WrestleMania week next week. You think we're talking anything else? Hell no. This is the early bird special. We talk wrestling on this show. We got to get out of here for the day. Join us tomorrow, won't you? 7 to 9 a.m. But until then, Sparky, let's get out of here.